Thank you for joining us today. To my left, we have Francis Dion with Expertdoc Technologies and Tap Haley with Customer Effective. Francis, could you please just tell us a little bit about what you're doing today with regards to the SBC mandate?
Yes, absolutely. So as you all know, the SBC mandate is coming pretty fast. It's September 23rd. And so most health insurers are really struggling to figure out the best way to meet that requirements for the summary of benefit and coverage. Probably the biggest challenge being the time constraints, but also being able to adapt and quickly react to any changes, new plans, a new offering, both in a pre-sale and a post-sale market also.
Okay. Tap, would you mind sharing a little bit about Customer Effective and what you're doing today with the health insurance carriers?
Sure. Customer Effective is a Microsoft partner. We're really focused on helping health plan administrators automate business processes, and we do that on the Microsoft Dynamics CRM platform. So our business is really around helping automate those processes with technology.
Francis, would you mind sharing some examples of how you're helping health insurance administrators with document automation today with your technology?
Yes, absolutely. One of the key elements, especially in the context of, again, the SBC mandate, is that you need to be sure, absolutely sure that you'll be compliant. There's no question about that. But you also want a solution that will grow and that will become effective as your systems are upgraded and ready to deal with that type of situation. So with the Xpertdoc solution, what we provide is first a cloud-based solution, just a form, you go in, you fill in data, and you get your SBC form, and that's it. So that's easy, quick. It's you're essentially compliant as soon as you sign up. But then moving forward, the same exact solution, either from the cloud or installed on-premise in your environment, will be able to consume web services or XML feed or any kind of other data connection that you want to provide. And so you have a solution that is working today, compliant today, but it will evolve and will keep you compliant and grow with you and with your systems.
Okay, thank you. Tap, would you mind sharing some of your experience with health insurance administrators and what you're doing in that space today?
Sure. So Dynamics CRM, by the nature of CRM or customer relationship management, in general is typically used to help companies automate their sales and marketing organization, and we certainly do a lot of that, kind of a core functionality of the product that we help to deploy. But we find that a lot of the health plan administrators, most of them have lots of silos of data, and they're disconnected, and they have a lot of trouble bringing that data together to execute on that data. And so a lot of the work that we do is leveraging the Dynamics CRM platform to bring all that data together so they have actionable data to work with, not only in sales and marketing, but also in the core operations of a health plan administrator.
Okay, great. Francis, would you mind talking a little bit about how your solution can help a health insurance carrier with the multi-language requirements today?
That's an interesting one. And really, we've seen a combination of two approaches. The simplest one is simply you produce the SBC, summary of benefit coverage, in plain English, but then at the end, you have one line that is in that alternate language. I say one line, but actually it depends on your state and the counties and the demographics of your jurisdiction. But essentially, whatever language that you need to support, you can just add a line that says in that language, if you would like your SBC in, let's say, Spanish or Chinese or whatever, then call that number. And that's pretty much it. Obviously now, when someone calls, you need to scramble and make that available to them. The other approach is to be more proactive and have all of your SBC instances translated ahead of time. And we can actually help with both approaches. Obviously, the one-liner is fairly straightforward and simple, but we can also help you both translate the SBC form itself and the description of your benefits.
Okay, excellent. So Tap, earlier you were talking about CRM and what that really is and what most people think about from a customer relationship management tool. You talked about also extending that into other parts of the business. Could you maybe elaborate a little bit and maybe one area that you see that?
Sure. So one health plan administrator, one of our earlier customers, really started the implementation really around, again, sales and marketing, really around group sales, so large groups, and they had the need to combine a dozen or so various systems that were not connected in order to effectively manage their sales pipeline and their forecasting and the things associated with typical sales. And then beyond that, they realized a real need to better manage the enrollment. Once they do close a new opportunity, win a new group's business, all the tasks that are associated with bringing that new group on board, from enrollment, all the implementation tasks associated with that. There are just lots and lots of different people in an organization that play a role in that, and lots of opportunity for error, and lots of opportunity to have to do things over and over again. So by streamlining those processes in one system, really help reduce the amount of time and the manual effort associated with bringing on a new customer in a group environment.
As you talk about CRM and extending it out into other parts of the business, can you maybe talk a little bit about what the impact has been in those pieces of the business?
Sure. So, to elaborate a little bit on the automation portion of that, so Dynamics CRM works tightly with Office and Outlook and things that people are familiar with, and so prior to that, this particular customer would rely heavily on spreadsheets, and those spreadsheets would have various versions, and again, so that there's a lot of opportunity for them to make errors. And so by pulling all that data, pulling all those spreadsheets now into a database and an application, CRM, they were able to really reduce the time and amount of effort associated with processing a renewal and all the steps that it had to take. So the things that we really did there were leverage workflow in the system. So when one task was completed, it automatically flowed to the next person. So the net result for this particular customer in just this one area, the impact for them was now they're able to process a renewal, a complex renewal that used to take many people about a total of 10 hours combined. Now they're processing those same renewals in about 10 minutes, and they've got lots more visibility into that process.
Great.
Yeah, that's interesting. Another area where we're doing some good work also is a main area of concern for most self-insurers going back to the SBC mandate is the calculations for the claims examples. So at the end of the SBC form, there's an example of maternity claims and diabetes type 2 claims. And really we're seeing health insurers really struggle with that one. What we're finding out is that it's not that complicated. There are actually multiple ways that can be accomplished. In one instances, there's actually a call made from the document output system straight into the claims processing platform to make those calculations and get the values back. In other instances, it's just an analyst that's plugging in the numbers, just looking at the benefits booklet and just plugging in the numbers. And depending on the volume of plans and groups and the complexity of the systems that you're dealing with, both approaches are just fine.
So Tap and Francis, I'd like to talk a little bit and get some feedback from you on what's going on with the exchange and how health insurance carriers are looking to try and address that issue in the marketplace.
Well, with our business has been really a mix of, in the health plans has really been helping the group and individual, and with the exchange coming about, in particular with the smaller groups, a lot of the people that are currently members by way of a small group plan that could tomorrow become an individual plan, a shopper out there looking for an individual plan, probably no different than us that's never done that before. That's an opportunity for the individual side of the health plan to really go back to those people that were on a small group plan with one of their products that tomorrow is shopping, and that's a captive opportunity for them to go and present them options with individual health plans.
Great.
I think really the key with all of these mandates is that, yes, these are compliance issues, these are important strategic things that health insurers need to pay attention to. But these are also fantastic opportunities to revisit your current systems, how your data may be siloed in different systems, and how maybe you can implement some Dynamics CRM implementation, work with a good partner, and really drive some of those productivity improvements and quality improvements that will, in the end, help these organizations be more successful in the market.
So Tap, thanks for the feedback, and Francis on the exchange, and do want to revisit, you were talking about group and individual. Could you maybe explain a little bit about how does CRM really fit into this process that you're talking about helping them achieve? Before you talked about a lot of carriers have multiple systems, and maybe you could elaborate a little bit on that.
Right. Well, what we found is that most organizations oftentimes have two different systems for that. And, maybe a CRM system, maybe relying on an underwriting system, or just a variety of things. But the point is that they're really in two separate silos. So you've got a system that manages all their groups and all the members of those groups, and then you've got another completely separate system that manages all their individual business, or individual members, if you will. And by bringing those together in one system, it becomes very easy to say, I want to see all these people that today are part of a group plan, that tomorrow are off that plan, and it's simply a status change of that individual. Now that individual becomes visible in the individual CRM system, which is the same database, but now they're looking at a different view of the data. If you have those in two separate systems, it's just really, really difficult for them to manage the complexity of keeping track of all those people.
So if I can add to that, on the document output side, it's kind of the same situations where most organizations have not one, but two, three, we've seen up to 5 and 6 different systems for producing the policies, the packets, the forms, and all of that is a lot of inefficiencies, training, compliance, risks, all of that. So if you can find a solution that will address all of these requirements, it will be easy to use, it will be easy to integrate, it will work well with your CRM, with your policy admin, with your claim system, then I think you're pretty much ahead of the game.
So Tap, can you maybe tell me a little bit about why does Customer Effective choose to work with Microsoft Dynamics CRM and that platform?
Yeah, that's a good question. There are lots of systems out there. There have been, and you definitely have seen consolidation in the industry, but still there are a lot of them out there. So we've elected to do Dynamic CRM for a variety of reasons, so I'll just hit on a couple of those. One of those is the flexibility of the application to how it's deployed. So it can be deployed in the cloud, a public cloud, a private cloud, on-premise, so it gives customers, particularly in this industry that need flexibility with all the changes and regulations and compliance, the ability to run it in any model they want. So that's one big reason I think we've elected just to do Dynamic CRM. The other one is really the ease of modifying the application, and I don't mean code modification. I'm really referring to things that have been so difficult in the industry. If a business user, for example, wants to make a change to a screen, add an additional pick list, for example, on a simple form, or add a new field, or move the field around, those things have traditionally been really, really difficult. And so CRM is allowing us to take a lot of the things to offer our customers who have depended heavily on their IT organization to make those sort of changes, and push some of that responsibility out to folks that are in business, because it's not code work anymore, it's configuration. And so it's really a great platform that allows us to go in and automate all kinds of different business processes. And I'll pass it, I guess, to Francis to talk a little bit about how the Xpertdoc system extends the capability of Dynamic CRM in kind of the same manner.
Absolutely. One of the key elements when we ourselves look at which platforms and with partners and providers to work with is, will we be able to respond to all the requirements that may come up and that we may not even know of today? And with Dynamic CRM, the answer has been overwhelmingly yes each and every time. We even have scenarios where you have your CRM on-premise and Expertdoc from the cloud, or vice versa, or both on the cloud. All of these scenarios work well, and then you can just configure your forms and your screens with a click of a button. You leverage Microsoft Word, which all of your business users know, but then everything runs on the server, where it's reliable and robust, and you don't have any headache with deployment, things like that. So really, it's been a great platform and a great source of our success in the market.
Thanks again for joining us today. If you could maybe just tell the viewers a little bit about next steps and getting engaged if this is something that you'd like to find out more information.
Sure. So we've had a lot of success. Almost all of our customers, the starting point has really been a blueprint session. And really that amounts to us spending a little bit of time, typically somewhere between 1 or 2 days, to get a good understanding of their current systems and current processes. And pretty quickly we can come back and see what are the elements of the solution that we could apply very quickly, what's the low-hanging fruit, and give them a pretty quick estimate on what their return on investment would be and what it would take to implement the solution.
Same with Xpertdoc. I mean, obviously you can go to our website and try out our solution on the cloud and see some of the documents and some of the work that's been done with some of our clients and partners. But you can also simply send us one of your template that you're using today. And we've seen 10x, if not more, productivity improvements by using the Expertdoc templates, and we're ready to pick up any challenge. You send us your document. Probably in the same hour, we can schedule a web meeting and show you your document produced from our system with data integration and business rules, all of that. And I cannot think of a better way for you to experience the solution firsthand and validate on your own whether that it is indeed the right solution for your requirements.
Great. Thank you, Francis. Thank you, TAP. For more information, please visit the websites listed on your screen, and thank you very much for viewing.